All right, afternoon, folks. Today is March 15th, 2020, and it is Sunday in the afternoon. And I do appreciate everyone for being here and watching this video on my channel. Today we'll be doing a demonstration out of Damon Brand's book, Magickal Protection. We'll be doing a walkthrough demonstration on the Master Protection Ritual. There will be a little bit of a commentary during this, and other than that, there's probably not going to be too much else going on here. Before we jump into that, I do appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. Please hit the bell button down below or to the left or right of your screen there. Once I put out any new videos, you will be alerted to that. Okay, that is, of course, if you are not a subscriber to my channel. If you already do subscribe to my channel, I do appreciate that very much, folks. You do help me out by providing the content for my channel, and with that feedback that you provide to me, it does help me put more videos out, lets me know what my viewers want to see, and sometimes I do put out videos that you might not think that you want to see, but you watch it, and you go, okay, that's kind of interesting. But some people have been asking me to do more demonstration rituals, videos, and so that's what I'm basically trying to do at this point, and kind of get those out to maybe help some of you through that process. Some of you are new to the idea of practicing magic. You're just starting out. These might be like some of the first books you're buying, and you might kind of feel a little bit overwhelmed. So kind of think of it as a little bit of a tutorial, having someone beside you that's already been through the material, has used it extensively, and enjoys using it. Okay. In addition to that, folks, I just want to ask everyone out there to be well. Okay, I know that we are having a lot of problems out there in our community and the world at large with the situation going on with the coronavirus. Be safe. There's going to be people out there that are just going to fly off the handle for weird things. Kind of take it with a grain of salt. Okay. Normally, I wouldn't be the one to say, turn the other cheek, but, people are stressed a lot right now. The best thing you can do is take care of yourself and your family, your loved ones. Make sure you let them know how important they are in your life, and don't forget to tell them that every day. All right. So with that, folks, let's go ahead and jump into that ritual demonstration. We'll get it done, and we'll wish you all well at that point. All right. So before we do the Master Protection Ritual, you have to have the Sword Banishing Ritual done first. And before you can do the Sword Banishing Ritual, of course, you have to do the Sword Banishing Activation Ritual, which we've done in this previous video that we had done. So once you have that Sword Banishing Activation done, you do want to perform the Sword Banishing Ritual before you start the Master Protection Ritual. And this has to be done each and every time that you perform the Master Protection Ritual over the course of the next 33 days. Okay? Even if you'd already performed the Sword Banishing Ritual earlier that morning, and at 8 o'clock in the morning, and now it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're just like, okay, I have time to do my Master Protection Ritual. You have to perform the Sword Banishing Ritual again before you get into the Master Protection Ritual. So we're going to go ahead and perform that, okay, and then get into the rest of the ritual there. All right. Sorry. Now, the Master Protection Ritual, for this, you do need to have this particular sigil or talisman, okay? You're going to find, if you have the copy of the book, it's going to be on page 36 of the book, okay? I did happen to try to remember if I just scanned this out of my book and enlarged it, or if I got it offline. I don't remember. But this is my copy, and basically what I've done here, folks, as you can see, I enlarged it because I do like to handle these quite a bit, and then I cut it out, and I put the thick packaging tape over this. I put it over the front and then the back, and I left a little bit. You can see I have maybe like a little bit of edge there going around. I just kind of cut around the excess tape, and this goes in my personal grimoire, so I don't have to pull out my book, or I don't have to pull out my tablet in order to pull this up. I have my sigil right in front of me. This is just an example of what you can do. I'm not saying you have to do anything like this, but this helps me with my practice. Okay, so what happens? What you're going to do when you begin this? Again, you do the sword banishing first, and then you become honest about the feelings that you have going on in your present moment. Okay, are you feeling anxiety because of what's happening out in the world? Are you feeling fear? Are you feeling love, blessed? Whatever the situation may be, you may have a lot of different emotions going on right now. Just get in touch with all those emotions, and be honest about what you're feeling in this present moment, in this present state. Okay, and then when we perform this ritual, before we get into the actual invocation portion, what you want to do is you're going to start here at the 12 o'clock, and again, this is written in Hebrew, so you're going to be reading right to left, and you're going to scan all of these on the outside in a counterclockwise formation. All right. Now, if you want to do it a couple times, you can look around it 2 or 3 times and make sure you get all the shapes and absorb all the images into your mind. That's fine. Okay. Once you've taken that in on the outer circle, okay, you need to bring your attention here to the inner circle in the black area. You have some letters in each of those. Again, you're going to be looking at those letters in the black area counterclockwise. Again, if you want to do it 2 or 3 times, just to make sure you take all the shapes in, that's fine. And then bring your attention to the center triangle. At this point, you're not really looking at the letters in the triangle. You just want to take the triangle in as a whole. All right, you're not trying to define each individual letter or character. So again, first the outer one counterclockwise, and then the inner circle or the black star, you want to focus on the letters there, and then take in the triangle in the center. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that done really quick. And then moving to the black star in the center, looking at the shapes there. And then just taking in the triangle in the center as a whole. Okay. Now, at that point, you're making a connection with the group of spirits that you need to get in contact with for the rest of this ritual. Okay. Now, when you say the names and you speak the words, don't just kind of say it haphazardly or like you don't mean it. Okay. When you say the names and you speak the lines, say it with a little bit of authority. Okay. Um, you don't want to come off as being meekish or shy or anything like that. When you perform Kabbalistic magic, the idea generally is that you're coming off as a divine being, if that makes sense. I don't want to be able to scream heresy or anything at me, but basically you're stepping into the role of creator at that point. So you're stepping into the role of what it might be to be God or some divine being that is manifesting creation at this point. So that's the type of position you need to think of yourself in when you go through this particular ritual, and actually probably in a lot of the rituals actually, because that's what magic is about. Magic is about deciding what you want, and not just deciding what you want in your intention, but changing your reality to what it is that you want. You don't want to make it somebody else's reality. You want it to be your own. Okay, and it defines you as a person, you as a creator, you as a divine being. So go ahead and assume that role. Okay, that's important. Okay. So when you speak each line again, say it with a sense of authority, and then what you want to do is imagine that power is being granted to you. And what I like to do also here is, once I've read that line and I've imagined that power, I like to give a thank you to that spirit. Okay, and before I move on to the next one. So the first line is going to be with Haven. Okay. And just in case, if you are using the book, it is going to be on page 38 is where the invocation begins for this. Amen. Genius of dignity, grant me the power of the Magus. Okay, and once you read that line, imagine being granted magical power at that point. Okay, imagine being granted that free will to use that magical power to create your desire and your intentions and your reality. So bring that feeling in. And again, as I just said a moment ago, once I catch that feeling and I feel it, I like to say thank you to the spirit. Okay, just mentally. You don't have to say it out loud. Okay, just imagine thank you, Haven, for granting you this power. Okay, and then moving on. Bogless, genius of measure and balance, grant me the power to express my will. Okay, again, imagine having that power granted to you, knowing that you can express yourself freely. It's not to say everyone's going to enjoy you being expressing yourself freely, but expressing yourself and what you want, and how you want it, and when you want it. Just bring that in and feel it. And again, I want to thank them. And moving on. Ahavi, genius of fear, let the force of my will overcome all terrors. And basically, in this case, what you're doing is you're imagining what it would be like to face fear head on. Basically, is what they're trying to say at this point. You're being given the willpower to face that situation head on and be in control over it, so you're not losing your sense of thought or your sense of direction. Valgus, genius of dignity. Oh, sorry. Valgus, genius of judgment. Grant me clear sight on my path to victory. Son, genius of the marriage of contraries, grant me harmony. Cabris, genius of free will, grant me power over my own domain. Sombra, sustaining genius, grant me the power to see beauty. Alphon, genius of the dogs, grant me peace. Zephyr, genius of irrevocable choice, grant me the power to create my own immortality. Astor, genius of delusive appearances, grant me the power to see through all deception. Eglum, genius of lightning, grant me the power to express my will through magic. known as genius of the elemental spirits, grants me the power to protect myself. Okay. And that would be the performance of the Master Protection Ritual, as outlined in Damon Brand's book, Magickal Protection. Okay, now this is, of course, would be the first day of the ritual if I was performing it, for the first time, obviously. This ritual does need to be performed every day for a period of 33 days. If you happen to miss a day for one reason or another, you worked late or whatever, try not to stress over it. Get it done, and then you'll get back on track. But it needs to be performed, preferably it should be done for a total of 33 days consecutively. Okay, back to back. Okay, again, make sure you're doing the Sword Banishing Ritual before you perform the Master Protection Ritual every day. Okay, and then again, as you go through and you're reading off the spirit names and what the powers are that you're to be granted, bring that feeling in, absorb that power, feel what would it feel like in order to, for instance, in Marnez, to be granted the power to protect yourself. What would that feel like? Obviously, that's going to be different for you as opposed, to what it is for me. Now, I did move through this a little bit quicker than probably most. For some of you, it might take a few moments in between each one, to capture that feeling, in order to move on. Now, when I first started this, I think it probably took me like a whole 35 minutes to go through just, the session like one time. And then I had to do that, obviously, for 33 days. And that was just because, I was, again, trying to capture that feeling and whatnot. And it was it took a little more time for me in the beginning. Now, after a couple years, it comes with experience and it comes over time, folks. You'll either catch it quicker or you won't. I mean, it's hard to say. Everyone experiences your magical operation differently. I can just share what my experiences are. Maybe you will have similar ones. Maybe you won't. Who's to say? So with that, folks, once you complete that, again, just imagine that you have that protection now. If you've went through that ritual the first time, I don't know about you, but I feel pretty energized right now. The ritual is done at that point. You can put the sigil away at that point, and then close out the book, and then, of course, come back and perform it again the next day until the 33-day period is up. So with that, folks, we're going to go ahead and call this video at this point. Again, as I said, be careful out there, folks. People are just, not themselves because of situations. I went to Kroger's earlier, which is just a couple streets over from where I live here, and I bought everything. My whole intention was to buy just what I needed to make my seafood and corn chowder. Make like a big pot of it, and it's actually cooking right now, actually. And I put shrimp and crab in there, and some calamari. And anyways, my whole intention was just to buy what I needed. And then when I walked into the store, and I saw that like 3/4 of their fruits and vegetables were gone, and this is like just within like 3 days. I was just in there buying something to have something at work on Thursday morning, I think it was, and there was like plenty of stuff on the shelves. And now a grocery store that is supposed to be operating 24 hours, they actually imposed hours on their store, because on their grocery market, because they're now only operating between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. and they're locking their doors because they need as much of their staff to come in order to stock all of their shelves, because of just what's happening out there in the world. So be careful out there, folks, and take care. And with that, I thank you very much for joining. Have a great day. Infernal blessings. Bye.